You might wish to practice a breathing exercise to relax yourself before we begin. Draw a long breath in. Allow it to out now. Perhaps you've already noticed a change in how you feel. Your breathing is a potent tool for reducing stress and anxiety. Making these basic breathing exercises a regular part of your routine can have a significant impact. Consider the following advice before you begin. Decide where you want to practice your breathing. It might be in a cozy chair, on the floor of your living room, or even in your bed. Don't push it. You may become more anxious as a result. Put your arms, palms up, a little bit away from your sides if you're lying down. Straighten your legs, or bend your knees so that your feet are flat on the ground. Put your arms on the chair arms if you are seated. Place your feet flat on the floor whether you are standing or sitting. In any position, stand with your feet about hip-width apart. Without forcing it, let your breath to travel as far into your abdomen as is comfortable. Practice taking in and exhaling via your nose and mouth. Inhale slowly and frequently. Some people find counting consistently from 1 to 5 to be beneficial. Initially, you might not be able to get to 5. The flow then, if you find this useful, softly count backwards from 1 to 5 while doing so. Do this for a minimum of 2 minutes. Great. Now let's get started with our story.
Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the heart of the countryside, there lived a young woman named Isabella. She was a beautiful and kind-hearted soul with long golden hair that cascaded down her back in loose waves and sparkling blue eyes that sparkled in the sunlight. Isabella had always dreamed of finding true love, but in a village as small as hers, the options were slim. One day, as she was wandering through the fields, she came across a handsome stranger. His name was Gabriel, and he was a traveler who had just arrived in the village. Isabella was immediately drawn to him, and she could tell by the way he looked at her that he felt the same. They spent the next few days getting to know each other, and it wasn't long before they realized that they were falling deeply in love. They would spend their days exploring the countryside, talking for hours on end, and stealing kisses whenever they could. As the days passed, Isabella and Gabriel knew that they couldn't bear to be apart any longer. They decided to spend the night together under the stars, wrapped in each other's arms. As they lay there in the darkness, they talked about their future together and how they couldn't wait to spend the rest of their lives together. As the night grew darker and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Isabella and Gabriel knew that it was time to lay down and rest. They snuggled up close to each other, their hearts beating in a perfect sync. The warm breeze blew through the open window, rustling the curtains and bringing with it the sweet scent of blooming flowers. The fire in the hearth flickered and danced, casting a warm and comforting glow around the room. Isabella and Gabriel's eyes grew heavy as they lay there, listening to the gentle sound of crickets and the distant hoot of an owl. They They knew that they were exactly where they were meant to be and that nothing could ever tear them apart. As they fell asleep in each other's arms, they were surrounded by a sense of peace and contentment. They were at ease, knowing that they were loved and safe. The sound of each other's breath became the lullaby that sang them to sleep, and they dreamed of the love they shared and the memories they made. They fall asleep in each other's embrace, feeling the warmth of the other's body and the gentle rise and fall of their chest. Their heartbeats slowly sinking, calming each other's nerves. As they drifted off into slumber, they knew that they had found the place where they belonged. In the morning, they would wake up to a new day, but for now, they were lost in the peacefulness of their shared sleep. They knew that they were blessed to have found true love, and they were grateful for every moment that they spent together. From that day on, Isabella and Gabriel were inseparable. They would spend every moment together, exploring the countryside and making memories that they would treasure forever. They were happy and in love, and they knew that they had found their soulmate. Years passed, and Isabella and Gabriel grew old together. They still explored the countryside, and they still felt the same love and passion for each other that they did when they first met. They knew that they were blessed to have found true love, and they were grateful for every moment that they spent together. As they lay in bed together one night, Isabella turned to Gabriel and said, "I love you more than anything in this world. I am so grateful for the time that we have spent together, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you." Gabriel looked into her eyes and replied, "I love you too, my dear. I am so grateful for the love that we share, and I know that we will be together forever." With those words, they fell asleep in each other's arms, dreaming of the love that they shared and the future that they would build together. They knew that they were blessed to have found true love, and they were grateful for every moment that they spent together. The end.